Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift, and of course, Merry Christmas to everyone. I believe this video should be coming out at either Christmas Day or if not, the day before or after, around the Christmas period, so yeah. So, we have already covered the Draven build with the Collector, and there is of course this other build with Magnetic Blaster. In fact, if you take a look at the top couple of players, you do have a good mix. You have like Collector for the top guy, you have Blaster for the second guy, who also has Charge Blade for some reason. So yeah, so you have a good kind of mix of items. You even have a possibility of Shield Bow, which is another possible build, which is to go for Shield Bow instead later on after going for your initial items as well. But today we're going to cover the Blaster build since we have time to cover more builds, and we've pretty much covered all of the main builds for all the champions already. So it's relatively straightforward. You have Gluttonous Greaves as a first item for the AD and Omnivamp. You have Bloodthirster for just all of the good stats, as well as even more Omnivamp. And Bloodthirster on Draven is even more insane because Draven is one of the few champions that loves Bloodthirster first item even before Bloodthirster was a good item. And back when Bloodthirster was like a last item for champions, Draven was already going for Bloodthirster like as a first item just because of how much stats and how much healing it gives you and how much dueling power you get, which is huge on Draven. Then we have IE, even more AD and increased damage. Normally you don't want to go for IE so early, but with Draven, of course, if you're not going for the Collector build, you don't really want to go for Blaster or Mold Reminder second, right? So your best option is IE. So IE, and then we have Blaster. Blaster, of course, gives you the additional range and the extra attack speed. Now, really, Blaster I feel is mostly for the range, right? Because by this point, especially if you're fed, one auto can do like half the HP of a squishy target, right? So with that extra range on Blaster, you're going to be able to burst people down and sometimes get extra kills because you have that extra range. And then we have more Reminder for the armor pen as well as the Grievous Wounds. And then last item, you generally want to go for something defensive. Generally, Maw is the best option if there's any kind of AP threat on the enemy team, because it also gives you 55 AD, which is a lot of AD. But of course, you could also go for something else like Sterex or even like a pure tank item, things like that. And for the runes, we of course have Lethal Tempo for the bonus attack speed as well as bonus range. Brutal because you auto attack a ton. Giant Slayer generally is the best option here to deal with the tanks. Of course, if they're all squishy, Coup de Grace works better. Now I have tried just going for Coup de Grace just to get kills in lane, but overall I think Giant Slayer just gives you more value throughout the game, and Coup de Grace is not that big of a difference in lane. And here we have Alacrity just for more attack speed. We have Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities, and for the spells we have Flash and Exhaust as usual. With that said, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so now jumping into our gameplay. Of course, as we all know, Draven is the kind of champion that you want to play extremely aggressive early game and you want to hopefully get kills and snowball. But of course, as we also know, this doesn't always happen, right? So ideally, you want to be playing with a support that is aggressive as well, whether it is an enchanter or an engager. You just want someone who's aggressive. Generally, this means it's an engager, but enchanters can be played very aggressively as well. Like Nami, for example, can be played very aggressively, and some enchanters, like for example Soraka, can help you play aggressively because of how much healing you can get from Soraka in those fights in lane. So in reality, it really is kind of any support can kind of work with Draven. Of course, some are better than others. But here we're against a Vayne Thresh. Now, of course, Vayne Thresh a little bit anti-synergy in the sense that Thresh is a very aggressive support that wants to fight, whereas Vayne is not really. Here, we get into a very early game fight. I'm trying to flash onto Vayne. Vayne makes the mistake of turning around, and because of that, I'm able to get an extra auto off. However, we are not able to kill her, and she's able to get to the fruit. In the meanwhile, Thresh is able to survive. One more auto is not enough to kill him. However, he is stunned by Leona, and we're able to barely get the kill onto him. So, only just managed to get that cash in. Was really close 2v2 fight that could have gone sideways very, very easily, but it does all end up working out. So now we recall, we get our Gluttonous Greaves, and you can hit back out. So pretty huge. Of course, getting early game kills on Draven is really, really great. Starting off your snowball, and you can really get the snowball going, and this can really, of course, just let you take over the game in certain circumstances. But of course, if you don't get early game kills, it's fine as well. Now, Vayne here, a little bit of a troll here, but I do get KS'd by Kindred, and we're trying to get Thresh next, and another kill comes in for the Kindred. So unfortunately, no cash in for me. Thankfully, we don't actually have that many stacks, because we just gotten the kill on Thresh beforehand. So as a result, we don't have that many stacks that we need to cash in regardless. But of course, stacks or no stacks, just getting kills in ADC is always going to be a good thing, so unfortunately we missed out on a couple of those. However, early game kills on Kindred can also help Kindred herself to snowball. And yeah, Pure Vayne trying to trade onto the Leona. We are just walking away because we know Thresh is coming back to the lane. No hook, so we're just getting a free auto on him, breaking his bone plating, as well as just dealing a little bit of damage and getting ourselves an extra stack. So generally on Draven, you want to try your best to maintain your spinning axis at all times, like you know, just reactivating them to maintain them spinning. But sometimes they do end up falling off at opportunities like that, and you don't want to get baited to maintain them spinning by walking up and attacking either an enemy or a minion when you are not supposed to. And by that I mean, for example, just now, it would be really dangerous for me to walk up and attack a minion because Thresh could just hook me and I could just die. So you definitely don't want that to happen. So yeah. So here, for some reason, they both walk down into the river, right? So here we're getting off just a lot of free damage. Just look at all that damage that we're getting off. Leona gets a kill, unfortunately, yet again, I can't get the kill and can't get the cash in. Now I'm getting a little bit desperate because I missed out on 3 cash in opportunities already. Rengar is now here. I exhaust him, smack him away from the bush, and Jace is even here now. And I'm getting really low. I finally get the cash in on the Jace, which doubles my gold that I get from the kill, actually, which is huge. And barely, as we are now running out of mana and health as well. But we do still want to, of course, shove in this wave before we recall to make sure the enemy team loses some gold. And yeah, now we can head back home. But the enemy team is, of course, able to catch the wave, so they don't actually lose all that much. Either way, still a really, really huge win, putting us at 1,000 gold lead over the Vayne already. We can get our components for the Bloodthirster, restore our mana back up, and then head back to the lane. So here the wave has just pushed in. We missed the minion there, which died to the tower, which also caused us to miss the X catch, which is a little bit awkward because you can see when Draven doesn't have the X, he kind of does really, really little damage because that's kind of how Draven is balanced, right? He's balanced around having access to deal extra damage with. Here Rengar is ulting and we know he's here, so we are trying to be cautious. Rengar hops all the way into the tower and gives another free kill to Kindred. Kindred picks up a double onto the Vayne, and now we're chasing onto the Thresh. Unfortunately, I walk a little bit too fast and don't get my access. Now she picks up a triple. Jace comes in, and yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Kindred is really good at securing kills apparently because I can't get any of them whenever she's around, and now Varus is here. So here, we managed to successfully bait the Jace, and with our exhaust and our stand aside, we were able to survive on 1 HP. I mean, we knew that he was gonna come in there, right? And we were able to basically bait him in and trust that our Varus is going to be able to actually get the kill on him, which he did, and we're able to of course escape with our lives and get the kill onto Jace. So a little bit risky, you know, sometimes you guys know how it is, even everybody, even support, sometimes when they see someone low, they're going to be going in, right? It's a no-brainer, and you know, it's the classic bait, right? But of course baits can be risky because sometimes the guy who's baiting does end up dying regardless, so it could sometimes end up being a 1-for-1 trade instead of a successful bait. So it's a risk versus reward situation as usual. Now here we have a bunch of plates that we can collect from the tower. Rengar is on the opposite side of the map getting the gorilla turret, and we are gonna just finish off this tower with the help of the spinning axis. One amazing thing about Draven is with the spinning axis, you can take down the towers very, very quickly. I think Draven is the best tower taking ADC in the game. Now here, fight coming up between Rengar and Kindred. Kindred once again secures all of the kills, by the way. I have no idea how I can't get a single kill whenever Kindred is around. Finally we get a kill because she's not even in range to attack this time. And now Thresh is going to be run down as well. We finally get another kill here. But yeah, this Kindred is just a master of securing kills. I can't get any of them when she's nearby. Insane. So here, mid lane sells all the plates, and we shoved in, and here's a huge opportunity to just farm plates. Here we got 2 plates already, make it 3, but it's shared with Varus, so we total got like 375 gold here, and we're even backing near the tower, so if Varus picks up another plate, which he does here, we get another 75, so that's 450 gold just from plates, which is more than even a kill will give you, so huge gold injection right there, and we're 4-0 and 10. Like, imagine Draven having 10 assists in like 6 minutes. It's something I never thought I would see, because Draven does so much damage that he normally secures kills very easily, right? So you never really see Draven with a large amount of assists, especially in the early stages of the game, because normally he's the one getting the kills, right? So anyways, here Leona goes in onto the Vayne. Here I'm trying to reach the Vayne. We get to the Vayne, and Ignite is gonna finish her off here. And we're chasing onto Thresh, but Jace is there to cover, and there's also a tower, so we're not going to be able to really follow up with anything there. However, we do have a wave pushing in, and we can just whack the tower a little bit just for a little bit of tower damage. Leona goes in for a dive, but unfortunately I kind of walk away and whiff my ult completely, but I kind of walk away to catch an X the moment she goes in, so a little bit awkward there, a little bit of a miscommunication between the two of us, where I'm walking away when Leona's walking forward, but it does still work out eventually. However, we do have to kind of run away a little bit, because our team is now getting run down by the Vayne. So now we can get a reset, we can complete our IE, and of course it's going to make us even more stronger and in an even bigger lead. So honestly, under normal circumstances, this would be a match where I would go for like Collector, second item, and then into IE, because I'm so far ahead. I'm 5-0 and 11, like 4k gold ahead of Vayne. And normally I think Collector is a better snowball-y kind of item, but of course IE as a second item works very well as well. And when you go for IE second, you don't really want to go for Collector like third or fourth item. I think Collector should be a first or second item at the latest, because Armor Pen is of course a stat that falls off in the late game. You never want to build it late, because you're basically just losing value, you know, from building that. So of course going for Blaster is a really solid choice as well. Blaster is a really good item on Draven, just a really good item in general. And now we're just back to farming. Of course, it's not just all about kills. You always have to maintain your farm, keep your farm up. And of course, farming also allows you to stack up your League of Draven stacks, and just allow you to get more stacks to cash in when you eventually do get a kill. So no deaths for us so far, you know, dream game for Draven thus far. Of course, Draven hates dying, he loses all of his stacks, never want that to happen. Now here we have like 4 of us in the mid lane, and we can just force down this tower with the power of Draven's AD, and the enemy team can't really do very much to stop us. So here I'm moving on to the next tower, attempting to do the same, but it gets blasted by the Jace. Just look at that, one auto does like over a third, almost half of Vayne's health right there. So yeah, a lot of damage getting output onto the Vayne, and just anybody who gets near me. I mean, even Thresh is like really squishy to me right now, because he doesn't even have a completed item yet. So anyone who comes near me is gonna kind of get shredded down. Now here, unfortunately, Varus is getting picked off. Now I'm standing together with the Set and the Leona, so I'm just hitting whoever is near me. Now here, Kennen tries to go onto me. I'm trying to flash out of the ulti. I'm able to get the kill on him and the cash in, but I do miss my access, so I'm not able to actually you know, get rid of the Vayne, because I don't have the access anymore. And we all know when Draven doesn't have access, he doesn't really do very much damage. Now I got 1 axe back, and I'm back to finish off the Vayne with the help of the Kindred. And next target, we take out the Jace, and now we're chasing onto the Thresh. But unfortunately we can't quite reach him, so we're gonna have to just back off. But huge cash in. I think I got like over 300 gold on that cash in. This puts me to like 12k gold, which of course on Draven is a thing that happens, of course, when you just get very fed, right? Here I was thinking of taking another wave, but I can see Kennen already coming, and I don't really want to stick around and overstay my welcome. So I'm gonna just play it safe, and I'm just gonna recall and of course pick up my Magnetic Blaster, which I should have more than enough gold for after all of those kills. There we go. And here I'm thinking of what boots I should be going for, or what enchant I should be going for. So in this case, there is a lot of AD damage, but there's also Kennen who's AP. So we decided to just stay on the Gluttonous Greaves, and we're just gonna take the stasis, right? Because the most likely way we die is either Jace just one-shotting us with a combo, or Kennen just ulting in, or Rengar one-shotting us, right? So these are the 3 main ways that we're likely to die, right? And stasis counters most of these, right? So here, catch onto the Vayne, 1 auto, 2 auto, like yeah. 2 autos nearly kills her 100 to 0, right? 3rd auto was necessary, but the Leona did just auto it herself to just get the kill. pretty easily. So here, once again, Thresh gets caught and does end up going down. We take out the inhibitor tower, and now ideally we want to push other lanes. Right? There's nothing really to do in mid, and we can't really end the game here, so we don't really need to stick around in mid. But the top lane is pushing in and just getting those free autos onto them. Just look at it, boom, like 1/3 damage, like another 1/3 there. One more auto would have done the trick, but I get condemned away. And now the enemy team is all kind of just running back out. And here I'm just cutting away slowly. Set goes in with a huge ult, and now auto. Down goes the Jace, and now just chasing in under tower. Now I'm taking tower shots, so I gotta kind of back out a little bit. And another inhibitor was secured there, in the top inhibitor. And here, a little bit dangerous. Even though we're very far ahead, we definitely don't want to be messing around in enemy nexus. Enemy nexus is where throws happen, right? Because, you know, if you make a mistake and a nexus starts shooting you, it's gonna hurt a lot, right? Because nexus tower shots do a lot of damage. So here, I get caught, I stasis, but unfortunately, Cannon comes in with the ulti after I stasis, and I do end up getting shut down and giving a 800 gold shutdown to the Cannon. And obviously, you know, that's not too hot, right? So, as I said, you know, mistakes do happen very commonly next to the Nexus, especially when you're very far ahead. I mean, my team is like 15k gold ahead, right? And we decided to kind of just force, you know, at the Nexus area, and you know, what do we get? We get shut down, right? Huge catch there by the Thresh, and I do get my first death of the game. Kendra's still 11-0, by the way, so she's still unscathed in terms of deaths. And at this point, with that death, we actually pick up our entire mole reminder. So now we are now at 4 full crit items, and every auto is now gonna crit, and it's gonna hurt like a truck. So now I'm thinking that we can just do Baron, right? The enemy team is busy dealing with all of those waves, and I mean, honestly, even if they weren't and they come, they're probably just gonna die, right? They can't compete with a team that's like 15k gold ahead of them collectively, right? That's just impossible, isn't it? So here we just get a free Baron, no contest from the enemy team. And we just need someone to pilot the Baron, and we just run it straight down the lane, and that should be like an easy win. So here, here Leona gets a catch onto Cannon. I get a free ult into an auto, and it's a free kill onto Cannon. One of the biggest problems for me eliminated already. Thresh Proto Belt's out the way, but Leona chases onto him. And here, unfortunately, I can't quite reach, but Varus can. And eventually, I do get the auto and kill the Jace, and then we're able to, you know, pick up the victory to the game, but not before Leona dies at the last second. A little bit unfortunate there. But as usual, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.